All right, let's get to Lil Bro. He waited. Y'all had to wait for him. You know what I mean? He finally got here, was born. So, Jimmer, how are you, sir?
Hello, I'm doing good. Nice to see you, Mr. Card, and nice to see you, Mr. Ramos.
Hey,
Thanks
good
for
to see you.
having me. It's good to see you.
Yeah. By the way, I'm the
Honored.
I'm the third of three boys, so I know what it's like to have to, wait your turn. And your older
Oh,
ones, shining, and then like you get there, and everyone they've seen your
you know
face.
how
Oh,
it
you
is.
look like everyone. They know your name. They know you when you before you walk in the door. So
Yeah,
just
all that.
Very true. I was going to point that out if he did not. So, and it's funny because I feel like Jimmy actually looks like the combo of Brian and Kenny.
you really do.
You don't look
Oh,
like Jimmy,
man.
but Jimmy. So it's perfect.
It is.
Now here's a quick question: are y'all in the same house right now?
Only me and Kenny
You in
are.
the same place?
Yeah, I'm in my house for college right now.
Oh, okay. So none of y'all are in the same house literally right now. Okay.
Me and Jimmy are in the same house right now.
Okay, you are in the same house. Okay. So Jimmy, give us a little update. So you were the most recent graduate. I think you're going into your
Yeah.
junior year.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I graduated probably from 2019, so 2 years ago. I'm in my third year of college, still in college still at UCLA. Yeah, I'm about to start my third year. My first year got canceled because of COVID, so I'm pretty much still new to college. I'm still looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm majoring in sociology, so that's my major, and yeah, that's my major joining into college, so I didn't like switch into it. And yeah, overall, I like that major. I'm trying to be like a social worker or like a counselor when I grow up. I feel like I've been liking sociology so far. I think I'm gonna stick through with it. Yeah, it's been cool so far. UCLA's been nice. It was my dream school, so the little amount of time that I was able to get experiencing it's pretty dope, honestly. Pisha Nina can tell you too. But yeah, like it's a big school, but also the people there is really cool too. Just it's very diverse, and you do a lot of things there, and you can excel, like you can excel in a lot of things there. And I think the diversity is what I like most about UCLA. So yeah, I'm looking forward to moving in this fall, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not really focusing on any jobs right now, but just on school and all that. But yeah, I got started. I got started preparing for like grad school because I know, just a sociology degree, I really gotta like specialize in something. So yeah, these next 2 years, I really gotta start focusing on this you know experiencing things and trying to get better and specializing and stuff. But yeah.
So Jimmy, you've been robbed of some of your college experience. Fortunately, you haven't literally been on campus, so you're not like the class of 2020. But you were there first semester through March. Is
It was
that
first quarter, yeah, and then half of my winter quarter.
okay? And so
Yeah.
you got to feel a little bit of college and then didn't get to finish your freshman year and got zero experience sophomore year.
Yeah. Well, I moved out for my sophomore year. I moved out to the dorms again.
Oh, during sophomore year?
Yeah. It was like through COVID, so like I had my own room. It was like I had my own single.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I decided to move out.
That's a cool experience that I didn't know was offered. So what was the criteria to get that experience?
So yeah, like I had applied for housing before COVID, and then everything got canceled, and so I really wanted to move out the house. So they told me they're gonna limit housing, so to like apply for it again, you had to like write UCLA, a paper telling them, why you can't live at the house, the circumstances. And so, yeah, I just wrote him a little letter talking about, why it would be beneficial to me. And so, yeah, after like a few days, they approved me, and then yeah, I got my own room. So that was pretty dope. It was nice. I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful to move out, honestly. Like, I don't know how I'd be if I didn't move out.
Is it's good to hear some of these stories because everyone's experience is different. And so this is like, I assumed you weren't able to be on campus sophomore year. So this is a unique experience. I'm glad you shared with us. Are there any other unique experiences that you had because you lived on campus during COVID time?
I wouldn't say really. I mean, despite just moving out, I'll just be able to live on my own. And everything else is all through online. UCLA, they really opened up any things to be organized, like any clubs, all that. Everything I did was all through Zoom, all online. All the things I got involved in. Only thing that was basically open was just like the dining halls. So yeah, I got to experience 1 year of dining hall food. I'm not gonna experience it anymore because I'm moving off campus. So yeah, it was very dope. I was eating good every day, to be honest. It was nice. I always remember that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going into sociology, something very similar to Kenny's journey.
Yeah.
How having these older brothers that have these experiences, and again, nobody's experience is a straight climb up. Both Kenny and Brian's journeys had, some traversing up the mountain. And so what is that, as the younger brother, how does that make you feel? Does that change the way you think, or do you still have the sense of fear of the unknown?
Well, yeah, I can just talk about, how I was going to my first year. Definitely having, knowing that Brian and Kenny all went through the school and I graduated, definitely told me that I wasn't alone in this. I clearly had that, I always had them to ask for questions, but there's also that aspect of, me moving out all the way to LA, just doing my own thing. Yeah, like it was also new to me, honestly, the process, even though I still kind of have two older brothers. I was just worried about, how I'm gonna make my own path, or like, like how am I gonna, thrive or become the best version of myself. And once I moved into college, that's something hard to figure out, just especially at a big school like UCLA. It's a lot of people, and it's a big transition. And even though I had to, like Brian and Kenny, it really wasn't something I was expecting. Like it just hit me out of nowhere. So yeah, that was how my first quarter went. It was kind of hard, like transitioning, just being by myself. Yeah, I didn't have many high school homies move in with me to UCLA, so it was definitely like a journey of my own. And yeah, I kind of embraced it at the same time, but also like kind of difficult. But yeah, I made sure just to like hit up and catch up with my brothers every now and then, maybe frequently throughout my first year. So I would say overall it's kind of like a mix. But definitely something that looking back, something that I'm pretty grateful that I was able to go through, honestly. It kind of led me to, the person I am today. And yeah, I'm just thankful for it, to be honest.
All right. So I assume there wasn't the campus involvement. It sounds like there wasn't the campus involvement that you would have normally been in. You were involved in a ton of things in high school. You were president of ASB. You were in multiple clubs. So was it good to feel less pressure to be involved because there was nothing to be involved in? Or did you feel like something was missing because that's part of who you are?
I would say it's the second thing. I feel like I really wanted just to explore new things, try new things, because, back at high school, it's a small school, you can only be involved in so many things. So yeah, I just wanted to get involved just to meet new people in my first year. So yeah, I got involved in a couple of things. I tried dancing. I'm like in this beginner's dancing. I'm not a dancer. I'm not trying to pursue dancing, nothing like that. But I've always wanted to, put on a show in front of people. So that, and yeah, I have no experience behind that. So yeah, I tried something like that. There's also like projects like coach organizations from Southeast Asians at UCLA. I really got into it my second year, so this past year. So yeah, I really wanted to get involved in that. Just and so what that is I was like in this little group that try to improve the wellness of Southeast Asian students at UCLA. So wellness, right? Like physical wellness, mental wellness, things that provide resources or information just to live a better life, how to get over certain things. So yeah, that's something I really want to do. Like in sociology, I feel like I really tied in with my passions, my career. So that's something else I got involved with, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I feel like I was able to meet a lot of people, and a lot of different types of people. I think that's like one thing that really struck me the most. I feel like at first, we're all kind of like the same people. We all grew up, with immigrant parents. We all kind of have the same sense of humor and all that. But once at UCLA, I really met like a lot of personalities and a lot of different types of people, and I think that was a really, very interesting experience. And yeah, a lot of cool, dope people, a lot of different stories, and I feel like I got to meet a lot of people. Yeah.
All right. Well, your journey, I know there's not as much, there's a lot more to your journey to as you go along. So we're definitely interested in hearing how it goes. Thank you for sharing with us. Again,
Well, I also want to add that Jimmy and I are in the same fraternity.
okay.
Really?
Brian's in a fraternity too.
True. I forgot that.
Does the personality of the fraternity, is it similar at both your schools where you pledged, or is it different?
Very different. Very different.
Okay. Now it's interesting that we have three brothers who are part of three brotherhoods. Do you think that your upbringing, do you think growing up in a house with brothers, do you think that's part of why you sought after being in a fraternity?
Yeah, I think once we all went to college and we were like, wait, where are my brothers at? I need some brothers. So we went to go look for a fraternity.
Yeah, growing up all the boys, like it's basically we're basically our own frat, We boys live in a house. It's pretty wild, to be honest. Yeah. I think it came naturally, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, Brian actually was part of the only fraternity in high school. The LBs is what I used to call them, because all of his friends were the little brother of somebody else. Like right there. All had an older brother to the same high school. So me and Fleestock used to call them the LBs. LB fraternity, and those dudes always wanted some. They used to try to rap battle me like every day. I used to have to get Johnny on my side to fend them off. So now it's funny to see the brotherhood transfer along.
Oh yeah. I think that that's for me very important. Just to, and like y'all were talking about men and like the perception of men and like values and all that. For me, like when I joined my fraternity, like I didn't really agree with their values. Some values, some I didn't agree with some of the stuff they said, and I think it's important to shape how you want your peers to be and act, and yeah, and just having fun, of course, but growing into men that you respect, and that you feel comfortable with, having their back, and them having your back. So yeah, when I got in, like excuse me, there's a lot of negative connotations about fraternities, and rightfully so, but for me, and you know, like hearing from Kenny and Jimmy's experiences, like we're definitely trying to insert all our values into our brotherhood, and just make it a positive thing.
I think it's great the way you guys are all breaking out of that mold. And it's important to have you be visible role models for the next generation of young men, that there's, you know, there's very different ways of being a man in the world. And, you know, a lot of men believe that they have to, you know, be the protectors, and that looks a certain way. There's a lot of different ways of doing that, and helping out through various means. So I think it's great you're doing that. And the other question I had about is what it was still on the theme of breaking out of those molds, and you know, being pro students and being a pro teacher. I had gotten used to a lot of my particularly my Asian students who came from families where there was a certain kind of mold that the parents placed on them. It was like, you got to be a doctor. You know, you're going to go to college, study biology, and be a doctor. And so and all of you are going more the humanities route, and you know, the mental health route, which is, again, it's not typically something that immigrant parents are very comfortable with. And so I'm just kind of wondering if you could talk about what that process is like with your family, especially if you're living in the house and your parents probably talk about these sort of things, but you know, thoughts about your careers, thoughts about you not being doctors, but how do they feel about you stepping out and being socially active in this more humanities oriented way? What's that like for your immigrant parents?
Okay, I can start off. Yeah, there's like so much to like unpack from that. Um, you know, like when I decided to be to pursue videography, like I didn't tell them for at least like 2 years. Like if I tried to tell my dad like video, like how you gonna make money off of video? Then yeah, so like that was like a constant battle I had, you know, like I don't want them to be disappointed in me, but you know, I don't want to not tell them either. So it's very it was very conflicting, honestly. Um and but you know, like growing up, um or especially being in college, um, you know, I had a lot of mental health issues starting off, you know, and I realized because you know our parents love us so much, you know, and I realized that's the one thing I can give them without like hesitation, you know. So that means uh, being healthy, you know, mentally and physically, and you know, showing them love, you know, respecting them, and so yeah, for me, like that's what I try to focus on, and not like trying to um, focus on, or pursue like a career that I don't want, because at the end of the day, I know like that mentality like has been ingrained in their mind, you know, being immigrants, and yeah, like I'm ready to hear all that like career stuff, but you know, I'm gonna love them, and for me, I feel like that's all they care about. Yeah.
That's a really mature thing to understand, that you can't change your parents, and yeah, their vision for you may not be what you have for yourself, and they may not accept that. You know, I had to come to terms with that with my mom. She wanted me to be a priest, and there's nothing that I could do that would ever change her mind from the fact that that's what I had to be. And so there was a lot of disappointment there, and I had to deal with that, you know, there's always going to be a level of disappointment that I wasn't the priest that she wanted me to be. And so, but I can't change that. And it's I think it's a sign of maturity when you realize, you know, you can't change your parents when they have those aspirations for you.
I want to ask a follow-up question. So for you all to make these decisions, there must be, what is in your household that has given you the confidence to do this? Like, did your parents raise you to be very confident? Is it, I mean, Brian mentioned love, but like for you to be able to make a decision that they may or may not be happy with, and to still make that decision, and for it to be a common theme and you're all happy. What is that magic formula that your parents raised you with?
Can I answer that question?
Please do.
I think when I was trying to make sense of all this, about how, you know, how all me and all my brothers are going to, like Mr. Ramos said, the humanities route, and are very involved in social justice. Yet, you know, our parents still wanted us, since we were young, to be doctors, lawyers, stuff like that. And I mean, it would be like weird if it was just only one, but all three of us, that's not a coincidence right there, you know? And so when I try to make sense of that, I think what I came to know was, okay, I learned was that even though they would tell us they wanted us to be doctors and lawyers, it didn't outweigh the amount of times they instilled those values that we hold dear to us today, and the values that we use to motivate us into these fields and to care about the things that we care about. My mom, and we come from a Buddhist family, and my mom was always try to, like you can see behind Jimmy, the little Buddhist frame right there. My mom has always tried to instill those values in us, about being a good person, caring about other people. My dad, he doesn't talk much to us but he shows his values in his actions, and the selflessness that he shows for us. Like he's sacrificed everything for us, and we see it. And I think how we interpret is that we learn from that, and how we interpreted that was that we need to do that for other people too. We need to care for other people. We need to be selfless. And so, yeah, I mean, they've told us they wanted us to be doctors, but it didn't outweigh the amount of times that they told us to be good people.
So do you think that in your field, Kenny, and your potential field, Jimmy, how is a way to transfer that aspect? Because culture is what it already is, from parents' experiences, but then that one element seems to be a key element in raising happy kids from immigrant parents. So is there a way that in your field, Kenny, you can actually share that? And this is a really hard question because I don't have the answer, but you may.
Could you like repeat the question again?
So the element of confidence, love, being a good person, taking care of fellow man and humanity that your parents instilled in you. Is there a way, because now you're working with UPAC, is there a way that you can share that with families who have similar experiences, so that even though you're not going to change the culture, this is a value that can be added to the culture without, it's not changing the culture. It's just adding that quality that your family has.
That is a very hard question. How dare you ask? I think in my experience, in Vietnamese culture, there's a very strong hierarchy. And the reason why we see so many young Vietnamese adults and teens go into the path their parents want to is because, it's whatever the parent says, that's final right there, and you need to obey. And I just think educating the parents and educating the parents on their children's mental health and how strengthening their child's voice is so important in their mental health and their development. I think that increases the respect in the family. And I think our parents ultimately respected what we wanted to do. Like they pushed us in a direction, but when we told them this is not what we want to do, we want to do this instead, ultimately they respected it. And I think we turned out pretty good because of that. And I think that's something that I try to help the Vietnamese families that I work with as well.
So when you interact with those other Vietnamese families, are they interested in you in terms of like what you're doing? Like, because again, they want their kids to be doctors, and then you show up and like, oh, you know, well, he's not a doctor, but he's doing this. Like, do you find that they start to see things a little bit differently, or do they tell you should be a doctor? You know?
Mm. I think in the moment they're just so concerned about their child and them getting help. I'm still so new to this. I'm only in the beginning stages of treatment for a lot of my family, so I haven't gotten to that point yet where I've had these conversations with them, or I've seen this from them. But they stress like how important it is for them for their child, and most of my clients I work with are male or boys, and they stress how much they want a male therapist for their child. And so it must mean something for them to say that.
Okay. Interesting.
And so, and it sounds like you're going to have a lot more, you're going to have many opportunities and circumstances in which just your example of who you are is kind of the answer to the question that I asked, which is you are an example of a happy person who is successful, who has followed their family's values and shown that you can follow family values and still be successful, but put your own passion into it. And I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible.
And it's not like the Mexican community, where they usually keep their language pretty strong throughout their life. Like Asian Americans tend to lose their language over time, just because we're not speaking enough.